This episode of Fuel for the Soul is powered by ASICS. Head over to asics.com and sign up for a one ASICS account. It's completely free, and when you sign up, you will receive 10% off your first purchase. You'll also gain access to exclusive colorways on asics.com, free standard shipping, special birthday month discounts, and more.
Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And this is Meghann with Featherstone Nutrition.
AKA Feathers, and I can see you right here.
Like We're in our house.
Yeah, normally she's flat feathers on a screen. Now she's fluffy feathers in real life.
I got so fluffy.
Is that a compliment? I don't know.
I'll take it.
Okay.
It's weird. We went to an event last night, and I can spot a Feathers fan from, I don't know, like as soon as they get out of their car and come, I'm like, they're going to beeline for Feathers.
Describe a Feathers fan for me.
Okay, I will tell you. They have a crazy look in their eyes.
We're crazy. Okay,
yeah.
Check.
And they're totally carved up,
lots of energy,
hydrated, and ready to roll. And they want a selfie with Feathers.
Well, that gives it away for sure.
Yeah.
They're like fighting through the crowd to get to you.
Yeah. Let's play a game at the next stop.
Okay.
On the ASICS moving mind tour.
Yeah.
Thomas, you have to pick out 4 people that are going to ask for a selfie.
I don't think I'm going to be at the next stop.
Well, a stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Okay.
You'll be at another
Which stop?
I don't.
Am I at another stop?
I think he declined. He didn't want to come on any of them.
I think Paris.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't count.
Oh, that would be so cool. They're like, Le Feather, I'm coming for the picture.
Again, what accent was that?
Oh, come on. That was pretty close.
Yeah, that was something special.
That was pretty close.
Wow. We're off to a good start here.
Wait.
Yeah. Cheers. We have a lot of beverages and stuff on the table right now.
I'm drinking coffee because I'm a little tired from yesterday.
But let's talk about a couple sponsors here real fast. One, Cheribundi.
Oh, Cheribundi.
Have you still been putting them in the freezer and drinking them after?
Oh, yeah. I'd take one from you right now, except for that's a sleep one.
Yeah.
And that would be better
before bed. Pulled out the sleep one. But they have the normal one, the good basic cherry tart. What is it?
Tart cherry juice?
There it is.
Yeah, we have a question on the podcast today about tart cherry juice, so we'll talk even more about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's tart.
It's cherry.
It's cherry. And it's juice.
It's delicious.
All right, well, I guess we'll talk more about the benefits later, but just so everyone knows, you can save 20% off your purchase if you use the code FUEL at checkout. So go to cheribundi.com and snag
Are you saying fool or fuel?
Well, you're a fool, but it is fuel. That's the code.
Well, that should help people remember.
Yeah.
FUEL.
It's the pause that really nailed that one.
Yeah, it was. That was good acting.
Okay.
RNWY.
Yes.
Collagen.
Yeah.
It's for collagen. Yeah.
It is.
You still taking collagen, you too?
Yeah.
I am.
In the coffee every morning.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you don't like to put collagen in your coffee, RNWY is also an electrolyte drink that has collagen, meant to be taken pre-run, about 45 minutes, to get the benefits of that collagen to the different areas of our body that need those amino acids to rebuild, repair, such as tendons, ligaments, joints. We get terrible blood flow to those places.
A lot of soft tissue.
Soft tissues. If you take it before a run, going to increase blood flow to those areas. It's going to help prevent injuries. It's going to help strengthen tendons, joint function, and all that jazz. So
it's good stuff.
Collagen.
Yeah. Okay, so again, if you guys want to get some, you can go to rnw.life and use the code FEATHERS15 to get 15% off your purchase. So go get some.
Booyah.
Okay. It's another week of listener questions.
What?
From all over the lot, but we have an update.
We do have an update. An awesome sauce update.
Yeah. Applegate.
It's back.
So they're selling it again.
They're selling.
But now with more fat.
Again. Literally. It still has the exact same number of calories, so it's 180 calories per gel. But they're
was it always 180
calories? But it was not. So it has 28 grams of carbs now and 7 grams of fat per gel. So if you guys have been listening, we try to get at least 50 grams of carbs an hour. So you'd have to take 2 of these awesome sauces. So let's do the math. That would be 14 grams of fat per hour
Oof.
while running a marathon. Fat slows down gastric emptying. So that means that fuel is going to sit in our stomach.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's terrible. It's like a recipe for nausea and perhaps
Something else bad.
yeah, right?
So what I don't understand how they just updated their nutrition facts and they're reselling it.
It's absolutely unbelievable to me, the turnaround that this product has made. I mean, this hasn't even been a month since everything came out. And now all of a sudden it's back on the website. They're selling it. They've changed the nutrition. It now has fat. It didn't used to have fat. And everybody's like, well, why are they doing that? And
What kind of fat do you put into a gel?
it's MCT oil and avocado oil.
And why?
So they can get the caloric up.
But, I mean, they proved that they can't concentrate carbs into that gel at the amount they want. But I think they obviously prioritized keeping the calories the same. So they've just added fat to get it to those calories is what I'm thinking these masterminds did.
Like, I understand that for the company, for them to have an urgency to turn things around. If you were putting this together as a nutritionist, would this be the formula that you would put together?
Absolutely not. Because they already sell some gels that have fat in them. And there are gels on the market that have like almond butter in them for like a slower, lower intensity. You can tolerate a little more fat. But I think this is a recipe for disaster because if we're fueling a higher intensity race, like a marathon or a half marathon with this fuel, we already have delayed gastric emptying. So if you put a bunch of fat in there, it's just going to delay that further. And I think people are going to be nauseous and hurling on the course.
So you were also saying that you're going to need 2 for every hour.
You would, to get your carbs.
So how many does that mean I'm carrying during a marathon?
Oh, well, what would that be? It depends on the length. 6 to 8.
6 to 8, yeah.
Would this be good for keto people?
It's got carbs in it, so I don't think the ketoers would be.
All right.
Who the ketoers? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
It is now.
Okay. All right. So still probably awesome sauce is not awesome. We're going to keep that the same.
Ooh,
I did.
that hurts. That stings. If I'm spraying energy,
Well,
that sucks.
they can defend themselves if they want.
It was
They
funny.
don't though. They just
put new products out. I asked, I took a poll on Instagram to find out if people who were using it before would be willing to use this. And most people were like, no, they lost my trust.
Yeah.
Like they lied about their last product. Why would I trust them now? But there was like a decent handful of people. They were like, yeah, of course, I'll try it.
okay.
Oh,
Can I
that's loyal.
ask? Why not just eat applesauce?
I think, well, that was the gig with this is it was supposedly it tasted like applesauce, but it had so many more carbs. So you would just have to carry a ton of those applesauce pouches.
All right. They don't need any more airtime either. So
True.
let's
just be
move
careful
on.
if you're going to continue with awesome sauce. That's the message here. What do you like over there?
I just tasted this new scratch one. You know what it tastes like to me?
What's it taste like?
It tastes like if you went to the spa and you finished with your massage.
Yeah, it's cucumbers.
Yeah. And they give you a little cucumber water with a little hint of lime and a sweetness. I drink this all day.
Okay, yeah, it's a limited edition flavor, Scratch. They always come out with like a summer flavor. So this summer is cucumber lime.
I'm into it.
Thomas digs it. I think I like plain lime better. I like this everyday hydration. You guys will have to try
That
this.
just-
The salted
that's a
margarita
margarita?
one.
Yeah.
It's not sweet. It's just salt. It's good.
Okay.
That's one of my
I
favorites.
got to try that one.
Yeah.
I haven't had it yet. Okay. So you put on our notes today, Plasmade Advanced Endurance and Recovery Gel.
Yes.
What the heck is that?
Somebody sent me on Instagram. They were like, have you seen this new recovery gel? And I was like, I have not.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it last night while we were all sitting around the table, and there's no carbs, protein, or fat in this recovery gel. So I was very confused because I'm like, we know that recovery takes protein and carbs. So what is in here? So then I got very curious about what this Plasmade Advanced Recovery Gel was. And when you dig into it, it's pine bark extract, which is, again, a new supplement to me. So then, of course, I'm like, well, I need to look up what pine bark extract is. So it says that it's a compound that stimulates your body's natural production of nitric oxide, which is what beets do. So it would help improve oxygen flow to different places. But again, I was like, is this really something we need to be taking?
Who figures this out? Who tasted pine tree?
Oh, I'm allergic to pine trees. I wonder if I'd be allergic to this.
Oh.
Bark. Yeah.
Weird. Didn't think about that.
Wait, so you're allergic to pine trees? Does that mean Christmas is fake
fake
at your
tree.
house?
A real downer at
Yeah.
Christmas time.
What a bummer.
Can't be around those trees, man.
That is
Mom
so
gets
weird.
hives.
Oh, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Hives.
I get hives and like
Okay.
my eyes water, and
Okay.
it's really
I
beautiful.
don't think you should try this just because I don't understand it.
I don't think I should try it either.
Maybe the bark is worse than the bite.
Ooh, put a bump.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
apologize.
you should apologize to the audience.
Yeah, that was good. But I wanted to talk about this because I want to get people in my mind. So when they see a product, I mean, you're more than welcome to send it to me, but like what goes through my mind that could help, consumers or everybody who's listening figure out, like, is this a legit supplement? So as you noticed, it's saying that it's going to help with recovery. So the first thing in my mind was like, what's in it, right? Is there carbs? Is there fat? Is there protein? No, there's none of that. Okay, so what is in it? So now we know that there is pine bark in it. So now we need to decide, like, is that something that's legit? Is that something that's safe to take? Like, is it worth our money? So those are kind of the questions I always ask myself.
Did you do research?
Sure did.
I knew it. I knew it.
So it's high in antioxidants, so it's anti-inflammatory. And then we also know that it might help our body increase nitric oxide production, which could improve performance. But then I looked on the Natural Medicine Database, which is, a nerdy thing to do. And they've done research on it, and it's possibly effective for asthma, blood flow, and then osteoarthritis. So I was like, well, this is weird. And then possible side effects, GI problems, dizziness, vertigo. And then it said there's insufficient evidence to show if it improves performance or not. So I'm like, okay, I don't know if it actually works, but is it safe would be the next question, right? So as I was digging through their website, it is informed choice for sport, which we always talk about. So it would potentially be like a safe product to take if you wanted to.
So it's not doping.
I hope not. Yeah. And then too, like, is the amount that's in this product enough from like the studies to actually see a benefit? That's another thing I want people to look at. Like sometimes it's like, oh, this contains a proprietary blend of things, but is it enough to actually see a benefit?
Do you mean like when you buy White Claw and they say it has electrolytes and really doesn't?
Yeah, just like that one. We'll get to that. So it looks like you need to take like 50 milligrams of this, and the supplement is 260 milligrams. So it sounds like it would, like, there's enough in there and it's safe. Yeah. So if somebody really wanted to try it, they could, but I wouldn't rush out to waste your money on this. I think nailing our protein is probably more important for recovery.
It says the use of this, or like how you're supposed to use it, is to take it it says before or after, but it says 30 to 60 minutes before or after your workout.
Isn't that weird that it's called a recovery gel then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also only has 10 calories, so it's not like sufficient anything.
I was very perplexed by this supplement.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, I mean, to answer you guys' question, like, I don't know. Does it work? My guess is probably not. Maybe.
You could wash it down with your ketones?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's put it in that bucket. Scratch Labs has always made staying hydrated both easy and yummy, and their newest product, Everyday Hydration Drink Mix, is no exception. It's for those times when you need a little, not a lot, of electrolytes. Yes, sugar, no. Shorter workouts, longer travel days, general everyday thirst. Everyday Drink Mix has all the electrolytes you need without the sugar that you don't, and just a squeeze of real fruit for flavor. Try their new limited edition salted margarita flavor because, well, it's a salted margarita that hydrates you. What more do you need? Science for function, real fruit for flavor. Shop all Scratch Lab products at scratchlabs.com. That's Scratch with a K.
Okay. Let's talk about Robbie's White Claws question.
So this morning, I think you were upstairs.
Yeah.
Robbie was here and he was like, hey, Feathers, I got a question for you. You seen this new White Claw, this NA White Claw? And I was like, no. And he was like, they're selling alcohol-free seltzers. So it's basically seltzer water. And I look at him and I'm like, what in the world? And he's like, yeah, and I bought it. I tried it.
But see, this is where I think the world goes nuts.
Wait, that's hilarious that they're making seltzer water.
Right.
You start off with seltzer. You put alcohol in it. You're like, hey, look, alcohol seltzer. And people are like, oh, that's great. And they're like, guess what?
I'm going to take it out.
We're going to take it back out. And you're like, whoa, that's new.
He was like, it was $12 for a 6-pack.
Like, that's there's somebody in a room going, people aren't that dumb. And they're like, I'll bet you I could sell them back seltzer water without the alcohol. We could make a huge profit. Think about it. We don't even have to put alcohol in it. Yeah. So what do they claim is in this?
Well, that's what Robbie was like, well, they say there's electrolytes in it. So, I'm going to pull it and see like what's actually in it. So their electrolytes is 65 milligrams of sodium.
Okay, you're laughing, but not everybody knows why you're laughing.
it's nothing.
Right.
It's like a granule
what I'm
of
saying.
salt.
So in a typical, like I'm drinking this cucumber lime mix here.
From scratch, yeah.
What's the electrolytes in this?
400 milligrams of sodium in this bad boy.
And like the element that we drink all the time, there's 1,000.
Right. So you're telling me that 65 is insufficient.
It's minimal. I wouldn't consider that an electrolyte-rich beverage.
So would that even be helping with hydration?
I mean, sodium kind of helps absorb the fluid, so there's a little bit there. So I guess it could.
Do you think that there's that much sodium for flavor?
It might be. Mm-hmm. Oh, so of course I had to pull the ingredients of what's in a regular White Claw and compare it. Mm-hmm. The regular White Claw has sodium citrate in it also. So a regular White Claw might have the same amount of sodium. I don't know.
But no alcohol. Oh, no, but it does have alcohol.
Yeah, like the regular one.
Okay,
yeah.
So you're drinking this non-alcoholic one.
Yeah.
Other than the alcohol missing, what's the difference?
Not much. Like they put a little bit.
They look pretty similar.
Yeah, there's like concentrated, a little bit of juice in it, a little bit of cane sugar. The best part was, potassium's an electrolyte also.
Sure.
So when you look at the ingredients, they add potassium, but when you look at the nutrition label, it says not a significant source of potassium. It's not even listed. There's so little added to it. And I'm like, oh, this is just silly.
So would this be like if I said, hey, I've come up with new alcohol-free vodka martinis. Yeah. It's basically water. And I say, hey, this is your new non-alcoholic vodka. It's water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But this is bubbles with it.
And we love bubbles.
All right.
All right. Let's dive into listener questions here on supplements. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. We said we'd talk about it. So this is from Zoe. And they said, I'm very curious. Tart cherry juice, which shows up, then goes away, then shows up, then goes away. Are there actual benefits for endurance athletes? And if there are these benefits everyday folks would experience, or is this a Morton bicarb situation where 1% difference doesn't mean much to most of us, but might to Kipchoge? Thank you. Love the show and love bagels. Gotta love that.
Okay, Zoe, I appreciate the question, but it's not a might be for Kipchoge. Kipchoge 1% is a lot.
Yeah.
We all want it.
Break in 2 hours.
I love it. I love it. So I love that. I mean, Zoe obviously listens intently to us, that she knows we like to talk about like performance improvements from
probably
supplements.
Listens better than I do.
No, she's like on it. And I would do. I wish that we could say for every type of supplement, it could improve performance by X amount. But a lot of supplements, it's not quite that clear cut, or we're not measuring it in that way. So the way that Tart cherry juice has been studied, it hasn't been looking at like percentage performance improvement, because when we're looking at supplementing with Tart cherry juice, we know that the best way to get the benefits, as Thomas alludes to, of it like building up in your system, is they've done some research where they've had people do a hard workout and then take Tart cherry juice afterwards. And it doesn't have phenomenal benefits. It's when you load for like a week and you take Tart cherry juice every day for a week, and then you do exercise, then you see the recovery benefits from it. So I would say to Zoe, like, there is really good research on it, as we've talked about, with Cheribundi being a sponsor here. But, as we've mentioned, it's something that we need to be taking in order to see that benefit. And then too, there's a lot of studies that look at, like taking it at certain times in your training, or like before, like say you're racing a half marathon and a marathon build, you take it a week before and a week after to kind of help you bounce back and recover and get back to it. So they've done a lot of studies looking at that. And really what they're finding is that it decreases muscle soreness, as we've said, and then also accelerates recovery from either hard strength workouts or like intense, running workouts. And then they can also measure like inflammation markers in our blood, and that those come down a lot quicker. So like inflammation is decreased a lot more when we're using something like Tart cherry juice. So that's kind of the benefits of it, versus it'll improve our performance 5%.
I also
kind of looking at it differently.
I like the way it tastes.
That's the thing. It's like a food product.
So
it's like,
so for me,
it's a win.
If it doesn't work, I'm still going to be okay, because I like the taste. Yeah.
Well, and what's nice about that too, especially if you're training for a marathon and you want to take this the week before, it adds to your carb loading, and it's easy to get down, and
no harm, no foul. Yeah. It's super, super tasty. So,
right. Yeah. So Zoe, it's not about performance improvement. It's about happiness.
Well, no,
feeling
happy,
hopefully,
fun.
but
Recovering.
hopefully it is helping with recovery, which is going to help you perform better.
Yeah. Right. Get back to it.
Right. Be able to train a little harder through things.
Nothing to it. Get back to it.
Okay. Our next question is from Tina in Ottawa,
Does she eat her
Illinois.
ham?
No. Apparently, that's what it said, but isn't Ottawa in Canada?
Yeah.
Is there an Ottawa in Illinois?
There's got to
I
be.
wanna look.
Tina, eat your ham.
I feel like she made a point to say Ottawa, Illinois,
Yeah.
so that we got it right.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm looking it up at my.
All right, Tina, no matter what you're from, we'll ask your question here. It says, hello all, love this podcast, listen to you on my runs and have gained a lot of knowledge from you. I have always wondered if beetroot really helps endurance athletes. Is it worth it to take it? Are there side effects?
Bum, bum, bum.
Like beetroot? Is that different than beets?
Nope, it's kind of all the same.
Okay.
Like you'll hear beetroot juice, a beet supplement.
A beet is
It's
a
all-
root.
Right.
It's
right.
a root
It's all the same thing.
vegetable.
So that sounds redundant to me.
Yeah.
Beetroot.
Well, maybe she's like Ottawa.
Is there, did you find out?
I
Is there
did
an
find
Ottawa
out
in
it's a
Illinois?
suburb of Chicago.
Okay, but so it's Ottawa, Illinois, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beet is a root.
Okay.
Where are we going with
yeah,
this?
this is not, no.
Yeah. Very descriptive.
Things are going well.
Okay.
We're doing well here.
All right, so let's talk about beets.
Beets. Yeah, there is some really good research on beets. So I actually went back. There's a position paper for sports nutrition, and it's very well. It's where a lot of the guidelines.
What's your
for
favorite
sports-
position paper?
So what this position paper does is it looks at the supplements that have the biggest performance improvement, and beet is one of them. So it's creatine, caffeine, sodium bicarb, beta alanine, and nitrates, which is beet juice. So those are the ones that have the most research around them that actually do improve performance. So knowing that it is one of those things, we can kind of talk a little bit more about like how it improves performance and all that kind of stuff. So beets are a natural source of nitrates. They absorb it from the soil, and then nitrates cause vasodilation, which means like our blood vessels kind of relax, so we can actually get more blood flow through them. So
sounds good.
We're able to get more oxygen to our muscles when our blood vessels are a little more dilated, right? Like think about when they dilate your eyes for like an eye check, your pupils are huge, right? So same kind of concept, but in our veins, so that we can get more oxygen. So that's exactly what it's finding, is that we can work harder with a little extra oxygen that is getting to our muscles. So when they look at research studies, they found that like people can run significantly faster, especially over shorter distances. Like most of the research is in like 5Ks and 10Ks, but it showed like a 1 to 3% performance improvement.
I need some beet juice
Yeah.
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 or beet powder.
So some people have GI effects from it, like nausea, diarrhea, all that lovely stuff. So obviously that would hinder performance. So if you're one of the people that feels that way when you take beet juice, it's certainly not worth the risk there.
Wait, but can you take it in other forms other than juice?
I had it powdered.
There is a powder. There are
What about
actually
like a
multiple
pill?
powders. There would be pill, but like, are we getting enough? So when you look at like how much you actually need 2 cups of like fresh beet juice.
Whoa.
Or 2 ounces of concentrated beet
How
juice.
often?
So that's where I wanted to talk about this, because with Tart cherry, it makes sense. It's confusing, right? Everything's different. Tart cherry, we want to build that up in our system. With beets, like we see pretty immediate responses. So you want to take the beet juice before exercise.
Is beet juice expensive?
No, I don't think so. But it's, again, like, where do you find beet juice?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been looking for it.
Yeah. So most of the time
Now
you'll
I
see
am.
it like concentrated, because you're probably not going to tolerate 2 cups of beet juice before a run.
There's
So,
a brand called Beat It.
yeah.
Okay.
Beat it. Beet Elite is a popular one.
Oh, the beet elite is the one I
Yeah.
think I used to take.
Yeah.
I think that was a powder that you mixed.
Yeah. So some people play with it and you would notice an improvement right away, like in your workout,
You
that
would?
kind of stuff. Yeah. You would, it has like a fast, response. It's not like something that has to build up in your system. Hard part about it, if you do tolerate it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone does, but if you do tolerate it, you got to make sure you're getting enough nitrates, which is the hard part, because we said like you're absorbing it from the soil, and if the soil doesn't have enough nitrates, or you just never know if you're getting quite enough. So I think that's the hard part. I haven't come across a beet supplement that is like certified, so there's nothing crummy in there that's not supposed to be in there, and then also that there's enough to do the actual performance improvement.
Could you just eat beets?
Yeah, what was
How many beets?
I feel like we talked about this one time. You had to eat a lot of beets.
I can't. I want to say it was like 2 big ones.
Yeah. So if someone wants to try, they should get a concentrate or
I would. Yeah.
and take it like what 30 an hour before your workout.
I want to say it was like an hour to 2 or 3 hours before you could take it. Like it wasn't like you had to take it immediately before.
All right. Another question here about protein pills.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Okay, so they said, I have a question for Feathers about protein pills. Found a brand that claims that 1 gram of their product is equal to 7 grams of your regular protein shake mix in terms of the amount of essential amino acids that the body can use. So, is it possible that there is a product on the market that has less protein in it because it's a pill and you cannot swallow a ton of them in each sitting, but provides much better bioavailability than a good quality protein shake, meaning you can consume less protein but absorb and use the same amount? Seems fishy to me. Some of the accompanying messaging of the product is not great. No calories, great for fasting, but I don't want that to influence me. Tell me what the hard data says. And then she claims that this is what the product has, like all of these
amino acids. She
amino
kind of
acids
listed
in
them
it.
out, which was helpful. So this, in fact, is a statement that is too good to be true.
Do we know what this
her gut
is?
She
Yeah,
didn't
it's made
say
by
the name of
Spring.
it. No, she didn't tell us what product it was. She just listed what was in it. So again, like getting in my brain to think about like how do we analyze these things for ourselves as we start to look at things. And first of all, it set off her radar that it sounded too good to be true, which it absolutely is. 1 gram of protein and 7 grams of another protein is probably not anything someone should be claiming.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we know the bioavailability of different proteins. It can be better or worse. You know, we know that whey protein, egg white protein is the highest bioavailability. And then things like lentils or plant-based proteins have a lower bioavailability. So there's certainly a scale when it comes to that. But as far as like protein powders go, it obviously is a concentrated source of protein. The most important thing is that we're getting adequate leucine to trigger our muscles to actually repair. And then we want to eat the rest of the amino acids so that we have the building blocks to do the repair, right? So we need a certain amount of leucine and then we need a certain amount of amino acids. And that's how protein, you know, recovers our muscles. So she listed out, she or he listed out the amino acids in it. One of these pills has 196 milligrams of leucine. We need 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of leucine to actually trigger our muscles to recover.
So this is doing jack.
So, right. These pills are doing absolutely nothing, especially if she's taking one of them. You'd have to take 11 of these pills to stimulate our muscles to recover, which just drink the protein shake at that point, if you're asking me.
I've also like never heard of taking a protein pill.
They're big. I've seen them before. They're big.
And so there are some legit ones out there?
I don't think they're legit.
Okay.
I don't even know why we're making them, honestly.
Right. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
It's like, what
I mean,
would be
I
the
like
purpose?
I like a recovery shake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know. There's so many protein powder options. Like, and we talked about Fairlife in the last podcast.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many options. Plus, we need the hydration. Let's
I
be
do
honest.
like those Fairlife shakes.
I was going to say, I also love doing the protein shake after a run because I'm also getting 12 ounces of water down real quick. So it's like hydrating protein. All right. Are we good? Is that it for this week?
I think it's a wrap. Keep sending your questions, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you have a question we haven't answered, send us an email at fuelforthesoulpodcast@gmail.com and we will answer it here on the show.
You guys ready for it?
Ready.
Is this your first live? No, we've done it live before. All right. Peas and carrots.
Bye.
Bye.
You're a child. You're actually a child.
Is that a euphemism for chicken nuggets? But anyway, peas and you're gonna.
Sorry, I had to cough. I couldn't hold it in.
Feathers. It's my one moment in the show, and you got to ruin it.